fucking stressed out. I'm fucking stressed. We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro.
We're 4 months into 2026, and if you live here in the United States of America, the chances are that you know that the economy is not looking too well. Right now, we're almost 2 months into a senseless war that the United States and Israel has waged against the country of Iran. We got oil inflation, we got gas prices hitting all-time highs that we have not seen since the 70s. And thanks to a number of these factors, it has set up economic conditions that has become literally unbearable or unsustainable for a large portion of the country. So let's check in with our fellow Americans and see what they have to say about this crisis.
I'm fucking stressed out. I'm fucking stressed. We should not be working like this. I work my ass off and I can't even fucking pay bills, bro. And they always say don't compare yourself to others, but I see people going to Coachella and fucking like buying all types of shit, just pointless fuck you money, and I'm over here can't even fucking pay my fucking rent, bro.
And if you're living here in the U.S., I can definitely understand her frustration. It might seem like everybody's out here splurging and balling out while you're just barely getting by. But you got to remember, a lot of these people are paying off stuff or using credit card or using debt and just saying that, fuck it, you know what I mean? YOLO, and just going out with a bang. That's just how some people are. Now, some people truly do come from affluent families, and unfortunately, the way social media is set up, it makes it seem as though the majority of people are living this type of lifestyle when that couldn't be furthest from the truth. You know, and you and I both know that the majority of people are not living like this. So don't beat yourself up. Don't get down if you're not living a 1% lifestyle, because we got to remember half the time it's not even people that are portraying this image that are even living this lifestyle.
60% of the American public is about to lose everything they have. People living paycheck to paycheck are about to go broke. The GDP numbers came in yesterday, and of course the economy receded, which I predicted 2 months ago, and people laughed. Mark my words, the second quarter is going to be far worse. Tariffs on Chinese products at 145% are about to kick in, which means everything you buy from China on Amazon or elsewhere is about to go through the roof. Grocery store shelves are starting to empty at Walmarts across the country, and of course grocery prices continue to soar. People who've been financing groceries on credit are starting to default on those payments. We are about to see an economic catastrophe. If you're in this 60% that has little or no money, please stop spending money. Protect your family. Trump does not care about you. Even if you voted for him, he's a billionaire. He won't suffer, but you and your family will. Please protect yourself.
And that's the thing, that people working the hardest oftentimes get hit the hardest during economic downturns, just because of people that have the power to actually make a change. It doesn't really affect them, these huge downturns. For the most part, they're insulated economically. That's where it takes us working together to be able to affect some type of change that benefits the majority of people and not just the top 1%.
As a Londoner living in the US, this is the greediest country I have ever lived in. So here's a list of things I've had to pay for which make no sense and would send the European mind into absolute psychosis. Let's kick it off strong with number one. I pay processing fees for my rent. I pay my rent and then I pay $6 to process my rent. Why am I paying you money to take my money?
Yeah.
Now, the next thing is I didn't realize how expensive healthcare actually is. But one day I had a really bad toothache and I went to the emergency room. First mistake. They scanned my insurance card, put me in a queue, and when I finally get to see a doctor, he looks at my tooth and says, yeah, we can't actually help you. You need to go see a dentist tomorrow morning. I said, cool. 2 weeks go by, I get my bill. $600. Luckily, I had insurance, so I paid $120. But think about this for a second. I paid $120 for a doctor to tell me he can't help me. Now, this one takes me off beyond my imagination. I stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel in Chicago, stayed there for 2 nights for around $200 a night, plus I paid for valet parking. But when I got my bill, the numbers just weren't adding up. On top of all the money and taxes I paid, they still charged me a $32 resort fee. What is a resort fee? And when I'm asking the receptionist what is a resort fee, nobody can answer my question. And what's even worse is it's not a flat fee, it's $32 per night. The next one was kind of annoying. I got my car towed, $350. Pro tip, do not let your car stay there overnight. Now the next one is tipping culture, and since living here I've learned to leave a 10% tip. But think about this for a second. Your boss is so greedy that he doesn't pay you not a livable wage, doesn't pay you a survivable wage, then guilt trips us, his customers, into covering the rest of your wage for you. The level of greed you need to have to even think of that concept is literally something only Mr. Krabs would do. Now, honestly, guys, this list is 25 things long, so if you want to see a part 2 or you like content on finance, make sure to drop me a follow. Peace.
Yeah, so a lot of things that people don't realize here in the United States, there are a lot of ways or hidden costs and hidden fees if you don't read the fine print before moving here as it pertains to the U.S. that a lot of people forget or that just don't add up. Like the whole tips things, when you look into the history, a lot of these things, tips is a foreign concept. I noticed when I travel out of the country, that's not really a thing because the people that work in the restaurants, they normally get paid enough to be able to take care of their bills. But the reason why we have tips on almost everything here is because after the abolition of slavery in 1865, during the Reconstruction period, when black people weren't able to be taken advantage of in the form of slavery, even though there were some states that still practiced it or had sharecropping. In other states where, like, let's say they had to train and things like that, black people would work in these areas, right? In service positions, but because white people didn't want to pay them a fair or living wage, they had to depend on tips. And so that's where this whole tipping culture started, and where it came from was because they didn't want to be able to pay black workers enough to be able to, or they didn't want to have to force people to be able to pay newly freedmen who were previous enslaved Africans. They didn't want to pay them enough to be able to live, so they implemented the tipping system, and that's how we ended up with tipping system that still unfortunately goes to this day. I myself have worked plenty of tip jobs. I've delivered pizza and Chinese food. I've also worked at a restaurant, a chain restaurant, where I believe at the time we were getting paid like $2.15 an hour, right? And that's nowhere near enough to live off of, and they're expected to be able to make up the rest of it in tips. And yes, I did. This was in the middle of Tennessee, and so yes, I did have an experience with racism myself, where someone, it was a typical redneck type of person, specifically put on there, even after no issues with their food, their service, put down 0.01 cent as a tip on purpose. They were rude the entire time, but hey, it is what it is. That, if you know the history behind it, you know it sucks, it's annoying, but that's just the truth. That's just reality here in America, you know.
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. Like, what money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. Like, a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
The economy is so bad, scams have turned from, oh, you won the lottery, oh, you won a free cruise trip, oh, you won a free car, to remote job paying $20 an hour. Rent listings being like $700 a month. All the scams are not reasonable. Like, oh, a remote job that's 40 hours a week that pays $20 an hour. Like, we both know that shit fake. Why are they texting me? You feel me? Like you're apartment shopping. Oh, opening apartment for $600 a month. You can move in by tomorrow. Like, you know that shit fake. Back in the day, that was some cool shit, but nowadays you're like, huh? That cheap? Stuff that was reasonable back in the day is now the new scam. New Honda Accord for $8K. Dang, that's a deal. That's a scam. Like, it's crazy that scammers don't need to use the crazy tactics anymore to try to scam someone. They literally just give stuff that used to be normal back then, and you can get scammed by it now. And it's worse too, because back then you can know if something's a scam or not, because it's like, bro, I did not win a free cruise trip. But now you're just thinking, oh, this apartment listing is behind and they're still on the old prices, or oh, this guy's selling his car for cheap, like he's not up to date with the economy and shit. So you think it's free, but it's not. You think now it's like, oh, it's a steal, but nah, they stealing you. Like, this shit crazy, man. We gotta fix this. And yes, I'm working on something, so y'all stay tuned. You feel me? I'm gonna fix the inflation.
And that is 100% true. Damn near everything here is a scam, bro. I remember back in the day, yeah, you could, when we first moved here to Florida, you could get a 1-bedroom apartment for $700 something a month, right? I remember back during COVID, I was paying about $1,600 for an apartment. Now, obviously, some time has transpired, and even then, $1,600 was quite a bit. And so then they hit us with the next year, the same exact place that I was renting, right? Sorry, at this time it was a 2-bedroom. The same exact place that I was renting for $1,600. They now wanted $2,300 for me to renew my lease. I was like, how? I've been paying on time every fucking month. 0 issues, bro. How are you going to increase this $700? It makes absolutely no sense. So, yeah, needless to say, I definitely wasn't staying there. They're offering more deals to people that weren't even living there anymore, or that were newcomers, if you can believe that or not. And now we get to how the current conditions are affecting everybody today, even so much as the gas prices. Check this out.
Here in Los Angeles, the price is $8.29 a gallon for regular unleaded, $8.89 for a gallon of diesel.
$13.99, $14 for a gallon of orange juice? Y'all must be out of your...
Like, are we dead serious right now? Like, are we dead ass? 2 pounds of lunch meat, $23.
That's crazy. $10.99 for some fucking eggs.
Would you pay $60 for one steak? I know I sure wouldn't.
$33 for toilet paper? We can't even afford to shit.
Hey, Lord, come on, God.
10 pretzels in there, right? 25 fucking dollars, dude. Go fuck yourself.
Wow. Wow. That is wild.
Utility crisis is not a hoax. The average cost of utilities in the United States is $600 a month now. And in 2025, energy prices were going up nearly twice as fast as inflation. That spike in energy bills is being driven by soaring demand, an outdated grid, and renewable energy growth that's being blocked by recent policy. Those soaring energy costs are a huge problem, especially when 40% of senior citizens are living off of fixed income sources like Social Security that averages like $2,000 a month. How are you paying a $600 utility bill out of that? And the federal minimum wage hasn't even raised since 2009. We need lawmakers to do something to help Americans. And here's the good news. There is hope. Maybe. The Energy Bills Relief Act would help lower electricity bills by working to increase renewable sources, which are the most affordable, reliable, and the fastest energy sources. It aims to not only lower prices, but to provide assistance to millions of households and to protect families from shutoffs and restore the tax credits for renewables that were revoked in 2025 and to prevent politicians from messing with energy initiatives in the future. It also has measures to improve the grid and bring it up to like this century. I mean, imagine.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC, not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable, regardless of your...
Here's the thing. Too many people think too individualistically here, enough to or so much so that it makes it very easy for the top 1% to divide and conquer. And I believe that's just one thing that we really got to get back to, is actually talking to your neighbors and knowing who is around you and in your vicinity, just in case you all can be able to help each other out to get through what is about to be more than likely one of the largest economic crises that we.
Bro, I'm not gonna fucking make it in this fucking world because, like, tell me why I just went to fucking Kroger's and got groceries. I just got paid today. My last fucking paycheck. And I spent $73 fucking on popcorn, crackers, Cheez-Its, milk, ranch dressing, tomatoes. Just basic shit, man. Like, a box of fucking Cheez-Its and a box of fucking crackers was $5 a fucking piece. The ranch dressing was fucking $5. The tomatoes were $4. Like, the milk is $7 a gallon, and my kid drinks 3 gallons a week. That's $20 fucking dollars. Like, how the fuck did I barely get any goddamn food, and it's $73 fucking dollars? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
And there you have it. This is what Americans are thinking right now about the economic crisis. You guys let me know down in the comments below. Have you guys noticed anything increasing in your day-to-day life? And if so, let me know what it is. And also, too, if you guys have any solutions or anything that you think that could help out in these times, go ahead and drop them down in the comments below, because at the end of the day, we're all going to need to lean on each other in order to be able to get through what's coming up in this economic crisis. Once again, my name is Brett Anthony Speaks. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe for more content, and I'm going to try to keep you guys updated as to what is going on and from a perspective that maybe not everybody might have. All right, y'all be easy.